Let's talk what the hell is happening with Brock Purdy. He is ice cold, man. He is ice cold. His best play of the game, and we say this every single week with Brock Purdy. His best play of the entire game wasn't even a play. He got called back because of a penalty, a holding call. He hit Ayuk, and it was awesome. And we lost a bet because Ayuk was 2 yards under what we thought he would be. But whatever, it doesn't matter. We made a lot of money this week. But his best throw of the whole entire game was right there, and it got called back. And it was like 3rd and 15. Didn't matter. Stepped up, converted 3rd and 15 right after that. Like, any time that the Cowboys thought that they were going to get back in it, Brock Purdy's just out there chill. Just chill, man. Just ding, boom, 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 boom. And it finished the game 17-24, 252 yards, 4 touchdowns. 4 touchdowns. 1 sack for 2 yards, and that was like, I was wondering if he made it back to the line of scrimmage because he kind of scrambled and tried to press a little bit and got taken down. 83.6 QBR, that's 0 to 100, right? That's pretty damn good. 144.4 quarterback rating. That goes, I mean, that's almost as close to a perfect game as you could possibly get. He was just dealing the entire freaking game. He could do whatever he wanted to do consistently. And I was watching the game, and I had pretty good seats. I'm third. I'm all the way at the top, but I'm pretty close to the 50, and I'm looking down, and I'm paying attention to the coverages the Cowboys are running. They're running 2 high shell. They're the most dominant single high safety team in the NFL. They're running a 2 high shell almost. Most of the game when we do the film breakdown, which I'm going to start later today once I get all the tape. Good Lord, the Cowboys switched their defense. They switched their tendencies, and Brock Purdy didn't give a damn. He didn't care. It didn't matter. Like, you changed everything up to try to make this Brock uncomfortable. It didn't work. They did some single high stuff. They did some of their, traditional, kind of planned whatever, but it didn't matter. It did not matter. And you look at just the team stats, 6 for 11 on 3rd downs. That's over 50%. That's a killer. That's a killer. You're looking at passing 9.7 yards per pass. That's 7 is good. 7 is good. 7. Just unbelievable, man. It was 4 or 5 in the red zone. Pick a flaw. Oh, we're getting the quarterback hit too much. Nope. No, you didn't. Quarterback didn't get hit really at all. You look at how many quarterbacks hits did they have? They had 2. They had 2. Micah Parsons had 0. They had 2 quarterback hits. Nick Bosa had 4 quarterback hits by himself. He doubled their team as far as hitting the quarterback. So if we look at the Niners, what are we missing? What are we missing? I have no clue. I'm trying to find a weakness. Oh, we got beat on a slot fade that was actually a perfect pass and route. And we're playing inside leverage because that's what our scheme dictates. This defense will always have a problem with the slot fade. I mean, it's just what it is. Like, there's certain gaps, there's certain vulnerabilities in a defensive scheme. And whenever you always play inside leverage to help with the run, you're going to be vulnerable outside. The slot fade's one of the hardest throws to make. And so, yeah, sometimes teams are going to get us there. But golly, man. Tommy, he says, can this team beat the Chiefs? This team could beat anybody. Patrick Mahomes is a little bit of, when he does Mahomes-like things, it's what it is. But the Chiefs haven't looked amazing this year. I'll say that. But the only time we would play the Chiefs would be in the Super Bowl. And I hope we get that opportunity. I would welcome it. I would prefer to play another team. But I think the 49ers, if you ask them, like, hey, would you like to play the Chiefs in the Super Bowl? Every single one would say, hell yes. Hell yes. We are down for that. We want to prove how great we are. And if you listen to the post-game press conferences and all that stuff, which I'll get those clips, I don't have them yet. This team, it's on the precipice of greatness. It really, really is. Again, I had them 1. You got to bump them up. You got to. And it's 5-0, and you can only grade off of what you have done so far. And all that this 49ers team has done is check boxes consistently. That's it. Now, you don't win a Super Bowl 5 weeks into the season, but looking at this and saying, "All right, we're 5-0." And then you look at our schedule and what's on the way. You've got at the Browns. I don't know. I'm not too It's the Browns. The Vikings, good lord. They could compete with everybody, but they lose all the time. Then you got the Bengals, then you got a bye week. I Look at after the bye week at Jacksonville. You never know what team that is. You know, they're either awesome or they're terrible. They're never consistent. Bucks, that seems like it's going to be a decent game. Then you've got the Murderers Row. But that's at Seattle, at Philly, then back home against Seattle. Those 3 weeks. Weeks 12, 13, 14. And you don't want to look forward too much. You really, really don't. Just take care of what you do. And I think one of the things that this coaching staff does so well, everybody is just focused on what's up. Everybody gets it. This is what we're doing. And whenever you have such a veteran driven team that has been down the path of success and gotten to Super Bowls, gotten to NFC championships, they understand what it takes to get there. And this team understands, man, if that game's last year, the NFC championship is played in San Francisco as opposed to Philly, they understand how important that is. And you don't get that opportunity unless you take care of business against the Browns, right? And so Philly won their game. Now they're winning things very different than the 49ers are, but it's still, the Cowboys, they're still going to make the playoffs. I still think that they're a good football team, but I say this all the time, and it's so important. The NFL is a matchup league. And so just because you're a good football team, just because the Cowboys are a top 5 team in the NFL, and I still think that they are, that doesn't mean they match up well with us. And that's why whenever I was doing the preview show, I kept saying, like, they're finesse, they're soft. Their coach is soft, their quarterback's soft. Everything about them is soft. They're finesse, flashy, and flashy works. Not when you get punched in the face. Not when you get punched in the face. And that's what the 49ers defense did. Shut their asses down. They had no answers. They had no answers. They could do nothing. I mean, good Lord. Okay, let's jump back over here. And let's look at, obviously, the Dak Prescott 3 interceptions is the glaring thing. And we bet that he was going to throw a pick. He threw a pick. 3 sacks. He had a 46 quarterback rating. Terrible. 51. Oh, passer rating. It's just bad. It's bad on bad. But look at their running game. Tony Pollard had 8 carries for 29 yards. 8 carries for 29 yards. That is 3.6. That's their explosive playmaker. They could not do anything. They couldn't run the ball. And you look at their studs, CeeDee Lamb. Oh, he's so great. 4 catches, 49 yards. That's it. CeeDee Lamb against the 49ers. First time we played him, had 1 catch for like 19 yards when we eliminated them in Dallas. Last year, he had a decent stat line. But this is nothing. This is nothing. I mean, Michael Gallup, 2 catches, 15. Brandon Cooks, 1 for 7. We were covering Brandon Cooks with Fred Warner out there. 1 catch, 7 yards. They don't belong. They don't belong with us. Like, you can't sit here. You got to go somewhere else, man. You and the boys and all that stuff. Now, I will say this. There were a lot of Cowboys fans there, which was really, really cool. Not near as many as 49ers fans when we went to Dallas for the playoff game. That was awesome. But there were a considerable amount. I mean, Cowboys fans going to travel, which is really, really cool. I respect that. There was some trash talk early, but that shit ended real quick. And they got quiet, and they left by halftime. And whoever didn't leave by halftime, they definitely didn't stick around to the 4th. I mean, and the Niners fans were leaving. Niners fans were leaving with 7 minutes left because the game was just done. We had Sam Darnold in there, man. Oh, look at this. Diamond, what's up, man? He says, Dak almost threw as many interceptions in a single game as Purdy has his entire career. Brock Purdy has yet to throw an interception this year. I know it's coming, but this dude's about to start breaking records. All-time records. Eh, it's uncanny what he has done so far. 9 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions. A 2-to-1 ratio is perfect. Not perfect. It's good. So, like, if he had 9 touchdowns and 4 picks, he'd be good. That's good. And he is just so freaking far past that. It's incredible what he has done. And, not to mention, we score over 30 points every time. That's crazy. We've scored over 30 points all 5 games this year. Lombardi put out a thing that it's only happened 5 times in the NFL that a team has scored over 35 straight weeks in a row. 5 times ever in the NFL. Absolutely, like, we're on crazy territory. Because how good this can be, we don't know. We really don't know. It's all right freaking there.
The 49ers Rush Podcast.